As y'all can see, that I'm wearing a shirt with Pam Grier on it. Pam Grier is a beautiful, black, strong woman. I wish I could have that in my lifetime. Today's topic is going to be about being single ain't so bad. As we pass puberty, everybody in the world want a girlfriend or boyfriend. Everybody desire love. Everybody want to be happy. Just because you have love doesn't mean that you're gonna stay happy forever. So it's very important, even before you find love, it's very important for you to love yourself. And also to have a relationship with Jesus as well. Because in this process, when we out here trying to find love, we need guidance. You know what I'm saying? Like as a man, it's kind of hard to find a good woman because we get distracted by a woman's beautiful face, by her tits, by her butt. You know what I'm saying? But we don't really look at the inside of her heart. Because out here now, some of these women, they're like prostitutes. You know, you don't really have to get to know a woman too long to get between her legs. Only thing you have to do is pay her bills, give her money, get her hair done, buy her clothes, take her out to dinner, and her whole temple is yours. But a temple is supposed to be for the right man. You know, a woman shouldn't give her body to any man. But the reason why some of these women had a spirit of prostitution on them is because some of these women was abused when they were young. Some of these women was sexual molested when they were young. And some of these women don't deal with that pain. So all through their life, they carry around that frustration. They don't really know how to really express themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that before we get into a relationship, it's important that we get to know ourselves, you know, that we love ourselves, you know what I'm saying, that we let go our pain and frustration so when we get in a relationship, we won't bring that drama to the next person. See, some of us don't really have to be single, but in this world, it's really no love, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you are a good guy, you have your stuff together, you have money, you have your own place, right? And you meet these women out here, right? And some of these women just want to use guys for their money, right? But if we accept that abuse, you know, we can have somebody in our lives. But us good men are now waking up like me, and we are tired of being abused by these women. We starting to walk away. You know, we starting to not put money in their hands. We starting to be concerned about ourselves, making our own self happy. You know what I'm saying? Because people might say that they love you, but when you get with somebody, everybody in this world has something up their sleeve, whether it's good, whether it's bad, but everybody is up to something. Just because it look good doesn't mean it's good. And like what I say too, you know, some of these women out here, they're not working. So they just try to look to try to make a guy a trick. Most of these guys out here who have beautiful women, most of these guys are tricks because when a woman want money, they give her money right away. But if you have a wife, there's nothing wrong helping your wife because that is a part of you. You know what I'm saying? So if a woman not treating you right, if the relationship not growing, if she going in the same path over and over again, just ask you for money and not trying to do better for herself, don't give her no more money. Just walk away, just move on. Because there's other women out here in the world who would appreciate, on having a good man like and also too, they talk about it's no good men out here. It is good men out here. There's a lot of good men out here, but the reason, why some women can't find a good man because they have that mentality that they are entitled to something, that men owe them something. You know what I'm saying? And like I was saying, men is getting fed up of being used. That's why there's so many single women out here today. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, like I said, if you wanna find that right person for you, don't go chasing for them. Just stay focused. Stay focused in your career, enjoy life, and that right person will approach you. And it's like very frustrating now because you got us, you know, chasing for love, and it can be very disappointing because some of these people are stuck up. Some of these people have boyfriends. Some of these people ain't good women as well. And another thing too, these women they're getting very desperate. You know what I'm saying? Because if you go in Walmart, you got these women. They almost look nude, and they can just look at you while saying a thing, and you know, and we just go approach these women. You know what I'm saying? And we have to be very careful on what kind of women we get. See, before I go chase a woman, I do this exercise. I get a notepad and I sit back and I think on what kind of woman that I want. And when I'm out there in the world, looking for these women, I see if the woman fit my categories that I put on the list. So, each of us have a desire. Don't settle for anything. Don't settle for less. Just because, a woman, you know, throw themselves at you, you have to be very, very careful with that. You know, don't just give yourself to this woman right away. You know what I'm saying? Because she could have something, under her sleeves. You know what I'm saying? That can hurt you. You know, they can set you up because some of these women out here, they have mental illness. Some of these women are dealing with a lot of trauma, and some of these women haven't worked on themselves. They just threw their trauma under the rug, and they go to the next man and they present themselves as a decent woman. You know what I'm saying? And another thing too, I seen some of these women out here, they will just get mad at the guy because they don't want to be with them anymore. You know, they'll try to thread them. They'll try to extort money, out of the guy. And as a guy, you must know your rights. You must know the law. Don't be afraid of these women because men have rules and regulation and laws to follow too. You know what I'm saying? And it's unfair for you to be in a relationship and these women not bringing nothing into the relationship. Only thing they bringing is sex and drama. That's all they're bringing. They're not really bringing anything good because when I meet a woman, I want her to have her stuff together, just like I have my stuff together. I want to build. I want to progress. I want to grow. I don't want to struggle. I don't want to, get taken advantage of and stuff. But like, have you ever looked at a person, right, and you be like, how can he be with her, or how can she be with him? Because I know that even though if you see two people in a relationship on the outside, it can look beautiful, it can look great in your sight because they are in love. But behind the scenes, it's not all that. It's a lot of stress, it's a lot of drama. And some women who come in a relationship and they sort of the weakest link, they think, they want to get out of a relationship, but they feel trapped. You know what I'm saying? Because, the guy is abusing them, the guy not treating them well, the guy cheats on them, and they feel that they trapped. They feel like there's no way. So it's important for you as a woman to not really depend on a man. You know, you as a woman have to build yourself. You as a woman have to save money. You know, stay focused on your goals and your careers. And also, I know it's hard for us to be alone, but you must find something that you enjoy doing. You know, go to the park. You know, hang with your friends. Don't just you know stay at home just feeling sorry for yourself. You have to get up. You have to get up. You have to improve your life. You have to do whatever you want to do, what I'm saying, to be happy. What I'm saying? Because you got to understand whether you're on this earth or whether you're not, people still going to live. People still going to move on. people still gonna try to enjoy their lives. You know what I'm saying? So you have to face that fact. You know, don't give up on yourself. You know, and with these dating apps, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to be careful with these dating apps because some of these women that you're talking to on these dating apps, they just bots. You know, they just you know what I'm saying, the dating apps is set up for you to not to find a man or a woman right away. They want to keep on deceiving you so they can get your money. You know, the best way for you to actually meet somebody is to like basically like just go out, you know, go to clubs, you know, go to like speed dating events, you know, where you can meet different people. You know, that's the best way that you can meet people, you know what I'm saying? But don't put your faith in dating apps because they go and their agenda is to make money and to get rich. That's their goal, that's their agenda. So me, I'm not all about, you know, being on dating sites. I rather meet people face to face. You know what I'm saying? And I remember a long time ago when I first got in the game of dating. I used to be on these phone chat lines. I used to try to talk to different, you know, kinds of women on dating chat lines. You know what I'm saying? Like some of these women on the dating chat lines, they not who they say they are. Because I remember on a dating chat line that I was talking to this woman, and this woman be like, "I look like this. I got a nice shape. You know, I'm slim. I look good. I'm beautiful." So basically, I went to actually go meet this woman, right? And that time I was kissing the bus. I was, you know, just go all over the place on the bus. So before I met the woman, I told her that I look like this. I'm gonna be wearing this color, right? So actually, I went to the train station. I wore something else. So when I saw that woman, she didn't look like how she said on the phone. So you know what I did? I turned back around, got on the bus, and went back home.